Here are some of the key features of Worldographer. What you see in front of you is an auto-generated map with our isometric icon set, and you can see it's got an icosahedral look to the map with a map projection. You've got 20 triangles that form the overall map. That's one style of map that we make by default. Another style is our classic Mistara style icons. Generate a map like this. And we also do a World of Greyhawk style icons as well. And so it automatically generates the map based on settings that you choose on that dialog. Then you're free to fully edit them. We can change the terrain. Go to classic terrain here. We can put in a dead forest, for example. We can change the coastline and add some water sea, for example. We can also go into generate coasts. So we'll add a little strip of land to all the hexes to make a more natural looking coastline. We can go and generate rivers as well. And here it's created a number of additional rivers. We can edit all these because they are just shapes. And so I can go to our shapes drawer, select the shape, pick this, and then drag a point if needed so it hits the coast there. We can also add different cities and villages, castles, all sorts of icons, palaces, ruins, towers, forts, all sorts of stuff are in there. Capital city, for example, or a regular city. When you place a city on the map, it generates some notes about that city. So I can select the city, pull up the notes about that, and it gives you some information about the city, some bullet points that you're free to edit. You can also see those auto-generated for ruins and several other types of features. In addition to generating coasts and rivers, we can generate nations and empires on the map for you. It does 10 by default because that was what was set usually by default when you generate your map. But it places these on the map, giving each country its own color and border. Those are all just shapes as well, so you can click on, select the shape, and you can move the points if you wish. You can set the transparency. You can turn that off if you prefer. Set it to no fill. It does that. So you have a lot of controls for your shapes with different drop shadows, inner shadows, ways to do ovals that are partially open, and so on. Worldographer also has built in this notion of multiple layers. This is a pro version feature. You can go to continent, and you can say you want 6 hexes across per hex in the parent map. Click OK. And now you've got that on the continent level. You can zoom out so you can see a little bit more of it. You can go back. We can do that a second time for a kingdom level, but we'll go back to the world level. Zoom back in. You can also generate cities or hand create them if you wish. You can do them by a step-by-step process as well, where it will generate each step along the way. You have a number of settings for how you might want a coastline or a road, how you want your street layout, how you want a number of towers for a city wall, and so on. And it takes a moment to generate all of that, but you instantly have a city. All of these little squares are our notes. Each building has some notes generated about it. If you don't like the yellow squares, turn them off with that. but you can view them by clicking on them with this Add Edit View Note button on. That pulls up a dialog explaining about this temple, where you've got a free-form details dialog that you can enter in whatever you wish, what services are available, what is the staff there. The same applies for many other building types. For example, we have a tavern, and if you want to kind of zero in on a particular building type, you can type in that building type's name and then click on one of the notes that still appears for that. And then we've got drinks, foods, patrons, and staff for that. Worldographer also lets you auto-generate and create from scratch, if you wish, a battlemat dungeon map, and these are good for buildings as well as for your dungeons. It will let you have a blank map, generate maps, or generate different specific building types. For example, if we want to generate that tavern, generate a map, and it creates one almost instantly. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it all. So you've got a main room with a number of tables, place for the owner to stay, storage area, common room, or rather single private room in this case. And each time you generate it, there'll be some variations to this main look. Going back to our initial or our second world map, you can also link these maps together. So for example, I can go back to the features and I can select one of the cities. I can pull up that notes, and then I can change a file that's associated with it. And I had previously created a city here, so I select that. Now it's associated. Now I can click Open File and close this dialog, and that previously created city appears here. Also with Worldographer, we generate a whole bunch of data about your world for you. So when we're creating that world or kingdom map, you can also see the world info that was generated for you. And again, this is all fully editable by you. You can throw it all away, or you can add to it as much as you like. We create a number of nations based on different languages. We give you a couple of bullet points for each of those, a couple of bullet points for each of a number of cultures, which are used to drive the nations as well as the religions. In the religions, we might give you a pantheon with many different gods. It might generate a monotheistic religion, a mystical religion. There's also a demon sect. In this case, we generated another pantheon. You can add timelines. And so all that's auto-generated, and you're free to fully edit that, add to it. And those are the key features of Worldographer. It has many other tools and options as well, but it specializes in helping you quickly auto-generate, then edit world or kingdom maps, city or village maps, and battle maps for dungeons, buildings, or tactical outdoor areas. You can also hand create all of these types of maps with our rich set of graphics. While this video focused on fantasy maps, we also have modern science fiction. Thank you.